Okay. I think I got it. So, yeah, obviously there's going to be bloopers at the end of this where I'm trying to figure out my camera like I always do. Today, I don't know how long we're going to talk because it's really just it's one little chat, dude. It's not even a conspiracy. This is just current. You know what I mean? It's just stuff you got to talk about once in a while. Oh, shoot. I just now realized I don't have a water and I don't have a cigar. So I'll be right back. Okay. So there's something in the camera. You'll see what it is if you don't see what it is. Yeah. I thought I was going to be a little bit faster. I shouldn't have pressed record yet. But anyway, I had to get some water. Because, dude, if you're going to talk, you got to have something to wet the lips, boys. You got to wet the beak, boys. You got to wet the beak. And then I wanted to get one of these. Yeah. Wanted to get one of these. My humidor's been great. Humidor's been great. It's story time, right? So, first off, what are we drinking on? Right? I mean, that's just fucking water, baby. That's what we like. I drink a lot of water. And I actually pride myself in that. Ooh, I need to change that filter, low key. Yeah, I should probably change that filter. That's fine. These are like first world problems, low key. I gotta clean this out. Hopefully that doesn't pick up on the mic too much. But anyway, story time. I don't even know if I really want to talk about this, but I feel like we have to, right? I feel like we have to. So, there's been a lot of stuff happening. Dude. If you guys want to skip through this, I'm not even mad. Go ahead, like 90 seconds. But, basically, we've been having some issues with ice, right? Which is funny. I like ice water, but I don't know if I like ice agents. I don't know if I like ice agents. I don't. Um, yeah. I don't really want to talk about this because it's so fucked. So the first thing I'm going to say, I support our country's desire to stop illegal immigration. I really do. And I think that most of you guys do too. I think most Americans do. Whether they're wanting to say that out loud, that's fine. You don't have to scream it from the rooftops. I think screaming it from the rooftops is a little weird, right? But if you're asking me privately over a drink, I'm telling you, yeah, I want us to stop illegal immigrants when and where we can. But, dude, what's been going on lately is just not right. So, you have Renee Good. I'm going to piss you guys off with this one, and that's fine. That's so fine. Watch. Renee Good deserved to be shot. Oh, damn, that's fucked, D. I know. She deserved it. And we'll get to that one in a moment. But this guy, Alex Pretti, dude, Alex Pretti was one of us. He was one of the boys. Honest to God. And he wasn't doing anything wrong. And we'll come back because I'm kind of jumping back and forth. But Renee Good, let's just cut to the chase because I don't want to talk about her. She's not the focal point. From a legal standpoint, she was shot through the front of her windshield. That's cut and dry. She was shot through the front of her windshield. She was shot in the side of her head, which is, when you're driving like this, that's going to happen. So that doesn't mean anything. Shot in the side of the head from the front of the windshield. She was hit in the front. She used her vehicle as a weapon. I don't personally think she was trying to run him over, but in that moment, it 1000% looks like she was going to until she does that number, right? I don't want everybody blowing me up because I'm explaining this bit by bit. From a legal standpoint, it is a justified shoot if the officer truly fears for his life. Based on the available evidence, he 100% feared for his life. That part is established. Secondarily, it's established that she shot from the front, so it's not like he continued to mag dump her after she's from the side. He didn't. He only fired 4 shots. 3 of them hit her. It sucks, but that, from a legal standpoint, that's most likely going to be a justified shoot. uh, there's also a law, which I'll try to pull it up and I'll maybe overlay it here for you guys to view it. But there's a law that Tim Walz himself signed that basically said if an officer has a fear of life, excuse me, a fear of life by a vehicle, he can shoot. He doesn't even have to be struck by the vehicle. All he has to do is fear that he's going to be struck by the vehicle, and he can use lethal force. That was a law signed by Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota. So it's a legal shoot. Now, that's besides the point because I don't want to talk about her. She got everybody riled up. And then a week later, or I don't know, 10 days later, something like that. Week later, this Alex Pretti guy gets shot, dude. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm actually pretty down bad about this. I'm fucking pissed. I'm not gonna say it on camera, but you know what I want to do. I mean, I'll say it actually. It's not that bad. It's not like it's criminal. I want to protest too now, but I want to arm up. I don't want to get violent. I want to arm up. I want a few hundred of us standing down in Olympia with signs saying, Alex Pretti is one of us. He's an American. I mean, let's go into his background. He's a VA nurse. Dude, half my friends are military vets. Like dead ass. Half my friends. Maybe 40%. Maybe not literally half, but 40% of my friends are vets. All right. The guy helped the veterans, first and foremost. He was carrying a SIG sour. Secondarily, carrying a SIG. I got 2 SIGs. I got, that's a good one. We'll talk about this in a minute. I got 2 SIGs, and he was carrying one legally. I'm not quite sure based on the evidence if it was appendix carry or, uh, 6 o'clock, but it was a legally owned gun. He had a permit to legally carry it. Okay. Which I don't care who you are. Shouldn't have to have a permit to carry. I think that part is dumb. You shouldn't have to have a permit to carry. I have a permit. Um, as some of you guys know, I've been through a couple of traumatic things. I prefer to carry, and that's not a political statement. That makes me feel better. Okay, so I prefer to carry. I got my concealed carry, and so did he. A legally owned gun that I own. He's got a legal permit that I own. He's a VA nurse taking care of people that I don't literally know because he's out in Minnesota. I'm in Washington, obviously. But he's taking care of the exact type of people that I know and love. He probably voted for similar interests as me because I vote all across the aisle, as do most Americans. Cut to that chase. Dude, this guy was a through and through American man. His last action. You know what Alex Pretti did was the last thing Alex Pretti did before he died? I can't get this thing to go. Hold on. That'll work a little bit. The last thing, dude, this is going to piss me off. I don't even like talking about this. Like I said, I don't want to talk about this because it makes me mad. The last thing that Alex Pretti did before he died, damn, there's a little bit of tobacco in this. It just fell off the end of this. That sucks. It's not ash, thank God, but it's definitely some back. Let me get that. Yes, cheers, boys. We got it out. Let's go. It's literally just a little bit of the mouthpiece there. Sorry, I'm teasing you guys. I'm so terrible. Terrible storyteller, I know. The last thing that Alex Pretti did with his life, did he assault a federal agent? No. Did he shoot somebody? No. Did he fucking do anything negative? No. You want to know what he did? He was helping pick up a woman who was just assaulted by ICE. She was slammed to the ground, and he was helping pick her up. And then they promptly sprayed him with pepper spray, bear mace, I'm pretty sure, because it was that like shit that you could shoot good 20, 30 yards. It wasn't just one of these little sprays. It was one of those nozzle clacker ones that you can, spray 20, 30 yards for like crowd control. Guy was right up in his face, just getting it with the pepper spray. Alex Pretti immediately puts his hands up. He's got one hand on his phone trying to get evidence, and he's got his other hand up. And he's physically taken to the ground. They wrestle him. He's not doing anything wrong. So basically, they might say that he's resisting arrest, but when you're getting accosted and assaulted by 5 people you don't know, it's not resisting arrest. You're engaging fight or flight response. You know what I mean? Like that, to call that resisting arrest is a little bit abrasive. He wasn't resisting arrest. He was being accosted on ice. So everybody was fucking just shimmying around and losing their grip, and everybody goes to the ground. They take him to the ground. They take his gun. And all of this is on evidence. Call me a fucking liar. Call me a liar. You can call me anything, but you can't call me a liar. That's the truth. They took the gun. I think it was behind his back. I think. I'm not sure. We'll review this afterwards, and we'll find out. But he his gun was in the back. I think. For role play's sake, we'll say it was in the back. He's getting taken down. He's getting his stuff. He's getting starting to take it behind his back or his hands behind his back. They're starting to do that thing. Started to do that thing. One guy pulls his gun out and his magazine. Or excuse me, this is important detail. I don't want to lie. The magazine gets kicked out and it's on the ground. You can see it on the camera from multiple angles. I think 2 angles, if not 3. 2 angles, if not 3. You can see the magazine on the ground and an ICE agent kicks it, which good on you. That's a good play. You're supposed to do that. Good. De-escalate. The other, which by the way, before I even go further, as a legal gun owner, if you're being detained by the police, you're going to lose your firearm for a moment. You get it back. Okay? It happens. It happens. Even when you get pulled over, if you let an officer know that you're loaded, they're usually going to take the gun and do that number. Or they'll ask that, you are very slow with your movements. They're going to do something to acknowledge the firearm. They're not just going to fucking not do anything. And that's fine. They're allowed to do that. But I'm engaging with a completely unknown stranger that I know is armed. I'm going to say, hey, could you maybe put that to the side too? Because it's going to freak me the fuck out, right? So they're allowed to do that. Anyway, they took his gun. The magazine was kicked. You see, I think you only see this on one camera angle, but maybe 2. You see one ICE agent walking away with the gun. His gun. The legally purchased, legally concealed carried, legally held gun that he wasn't holding at the time of his detainment. It was holstered in his hip line. And then a stray bullet goes off. And I'm going to cut to the chase. I don't think we'll ever fucking find out who shot that first bullet. I don't think we will. But what I do know is after that accidental oopsie trigger happy bullet got fired, Alex Pretti got shot in the back and likely in the back of the head 10 times. Over 10 times by two people. And they continued to fire at him after he was no longer moving. It's actually rather sick to watch. I don't recommend you go look for it, but I have the evidence. I have the evidence saved offline, just in case it's inevitably deleted by the government, because it will be. Now, we're smoking on Oliva again. This one's their Free Will line. It's a little gung ho. I won't lie. I don't know if that's gonna come through on the camera. Hopefully it does. But yeah, that's an Oliva Free Will. This is a little gung ho. It's a little pro America, right? But I like that. It's cool. It fits the topic today. And that's why we're fucking talking. Okay? That's why we're talking. Dude, I'm a constitutionalist. I believe that the First and Second Amendments are arguably the most important amendments in this country. Excuse me. It's arguably the most important amendments in this country. And in my opinion, it's the most important amendments of the world, but not everybody, not every country has them. It's one that Americans take for granted, and it's one that Americans don't know well. I myself don't know the full encompassing of their definitions off the top of my head. But I will tell you what I will know. A lot of people think that the First Amendment is literally just the freedom of speech. It's not. It's bigger than that. I'm pretty sure it's the freedom to assemble, freedom to protest, freedom of speech. And I think it's freedom of the press too. I think, but I'm not quite sure. But when you expand on that further, it's basically your freedom to express yourself without repercussion. And that's our most inalienable right. Nobody can take that from us, and I'm glad. That's why we have some freaks and geeks in this country. And I will die defending the freaks and the geeks, even if I think they're fucking freaks and geeks. I mean, clip that, dude. You know what I mean? Take that to the bank. I will die defending freaks and geeks, even if I think they're freaks and geeks. That's what makes us American. I mean, that's tried and true. That's tried and true philosophy right there. And so the First Amendment is very important, but it's protected by the Second Amendment, right? And that's exactly what that gentleman was doing. Got killed for it after being disarmed, and some trigger happy dipshits that didn't know what they were doing. They killed him, dude. And they killed him in like broad daylight. And the camera angles, I mean, it'll just make you sad. Now the government's doing damage control, and I'm not satisfied. Not even a little bit. It's actually terrible what they're trying to do. Kristi Noem, I think that's who it was. Kristi Noem, it was either her. Yeah, I think it was her. Kristi Noem said that the guy was armed with the intention of causing like terrific harm or whatever. She used some grandiose verbiage. But she said something along the lines of, he's going to cause terrific harm to the ICE agents. He was there to cause lethal harm to the ICE agents. He wasn't. That's factually inaccurate. And there's at least 3 camera angles that show him not armed at the time of his death. whether showing the gun literally being taken away or just showing him not holding a gun in his hands, which disproves the narrative. And then our president, Donald fucking Trump. I mean, dude, I don't support him anymore. I still wouldn't have supported Kamala. I don't support anybody at this point. I think we're fucked. I think this country's honestly fucked. But Donald Trump, the guy that's currently leading our country, he tells everybody with a straight face that Alex Pretti was a domestic terrorist and that he was inciting violence and he was just doing all sorts of nasty stuff and he was gonna harm the ICE agents. Whatever. I almost dropped that. Whatever. That's what he tried to say. And again, I remind you that the very literal last thing that that man did with his life that he was in control of. Obviously, it wasn't like, I guess, the literal last thing that he did, but the last thing that he did that he was in control of, the last thing that he chose to do with his own cognizance and his own conscience, he helped up a woman that was just assaulted. All of which are on cam, or all of which is on camera. It's, dude, it breaks my heart. And again, I reiterate the similarities. He's carrying a SIG. I carry SIG. He's got a conceal. I got a concealed. He takes care of vets. I love vets. I'm the son of a vet. Well, son of a deceased vet. Son of an Army Ranger. And I've always cared for vets. They're my preferred clientele. Anyway, the guy was just like any of us. Oh, and I also forgot to say he was Jewish. So he's like me in that regard too. He's Jewish. And it's funny, you got a radar for this thing. But as soon as I looked at his photo, I was like, oh man, he probably was Jewish. And again, it's a radar. I don't want you to try to get in the comments and say that I'm stereotyping because, first of all, I can self stereotype. And secondly, that's not what my intentions were at all. But I could just see it. You could kind of feel it in somebody's soul. Gay people will resonate with this. It's like a gaydar. I got a Judar. I kind of just tell if somebody is Jewish. And yeah, anyways, a lot of similarities, dude. He was a normal dude, a normal guy. It's really sad. And at this point, I don't know where we go from here because he died doing everything right. He died basically like any one of us. And now that begs the question, are we all at risk? And I think until further proven otherwise, we are. I don't want to be, but I think that we are. And we live in a weird time. No major podcasters really talking about this. Or I guess Brandon Herrera is, but he's a gun tuber. He's not really a podcaster. But a lot of the independent journalists aren't talking about this. Mainstream media is demonizing the man. Excuse me. Only people talking about this are just regular people on like TikTok and Facebook and Snapchat and social media. We'll just say social media. Regular people are tuned in and they're like, dude, whoa, this isn't acceptable. And it's not. Man, I I don't know what to say. It happened almost a week ago now. And I haven't been able to film it because I've got a pit bull that's very annoying. I love her, but goodness, she's been tearing up the house. So I've been having to repair my trim all around the house. Not all around the house, but all around the garage and the side door. Anyways, I've been able to film, but I've been wanting to because this isn't okay. At this point, I hate to admit it, but every American needs to get very loud and very vocal. And if you're not protesting, you need to write your senators. You need to write your representatives. And Scout's Honor, hand to a Bible. I have. Not about this topic just yet, but maybe this will actually be my reminder to do that. I think I'm going to do that after this podcast. Um, but I write my local representatives. Not going to say who they are because that would be stupid self-doxing. That would tell anybody that doesn't actually know me in real life exactly where I live, and I don't really want to do that because that would tell you, my district history and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm not going to do that, but I do write to my local senators, and I've even written to the governor about various topics. Some bills that are stupid and we should strike down. But now we're going to be writing about something different. American citizens are getting killed in the streets for literally doing nothing wrong. And there's factual data to support that they're doing nothing wrong. And yet, the president of these United States is lying to us. Excuse me. He is lying to our face. And he is telling us with the straightest of faces not to believe our own eyes and ears. Shout out George Orwell. Where's my 1984 fans? I'm going to paraphrase the quote, but it was the party's most essential command, right? It was the party's most essential command. Do not believe the evidence of your eyes and ears. That's in Orwell. That book was written 80 years ago, and it talks about the dystopian future in which we live in a techno state, and you're always being watched, and the government is essentially a uniparty, and it controls everything around you, and it gives you the sensibility of comfort and control without actually providing either. Sound familiar? We are in that time. We are in 1984. I need you guys to read Bill Cooper's Behold a Pale Horse and get an original copy. The original copy has some conversation that makes fun of people like me. Read it. Read 1984 by George Orwell. Read Brave New World. Read The Giver. Read The Giver especially. If you guys don't think that our government is literally harvesting and sacrificing humans, both citizen and non-citizen, you need to grab something and pray to it. I'm so serious. This government is using citizens as fodder. I mean, we see it every day at this point. We're getting killed. They harvest babies for stem cells. You can Google this. None of this is a controversy. None of this is a conspiracy. This is a factual statement. Aborted baby tissue is typically used for stem cells, as other tissue. And I'll let you have that rabbit hole for yourself. But this government is like the giver. It's like Big Brother from Orwell in 1984, and it's like a few other things. And it scares the shit out of me. I hate to admit it, but the older I get, the more I'm starting to realize that everybody that we were taught to hate were not necessarily the people that we should hate. And everybody that we're taught to love is not necessarily who we should love. And you can take that to the bank. we got a lot of allies that don't actually. Dude, this thing just cracked heavy. You're kidding me. Wow. That's tough. Wow. You'll have that sometimes, right? I mean, you'll have those. Damn, that's tough. I don't even know where I was going. I just lost my whole train of thought. I mean, who wouldn't? I'm almost offended. I got to figure out what I was talking about. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, that's crazy, actually. That's actually really freaking crazy. Literally, as I'm talking about our allies and our foes and people we should maybe not like and people we should maybe not hate, I lose my train of thought because this thing literally cracks in half. I mean, and you could see it too. It goes right up to the bando on that. That's just it's crazy. But yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild to think about. I don't really like going too far into it, but the short and sweet version is every Russian person I've ever met, chill as fuck. And they usually all love this country more than Russia. Like, honestly. Um, so it makes me believe that what we're told about Russians is not true. The Russian government's probably fucked, obviously, right? But most Russian people, dude, they're just like us. They just love their country, they hate their government, and they want to drink and have a good time. Not different than many people I know, to be honest, right? And I don't know anything about North Korea, so I don't have a conversation to say about that. But what if their people are the same? What if they're actually really great people and they just hate their fucking government just like we do? You know? Anyway, on the inverse of that, we have a lot of allies that don't do shit for us. And I'm not going to start name dropping them because that's just rude. They're all good people, but there are a lot of people that don't help Americans. The whole Greenland thing. Dude, this thing shouldn't be an issue. Greenland is an annexed territory. Do you guys know what the fuck that actually means? Do you know what that translates to? It is occupied land. When people say Greenland is for Greenlanders, what the fuck is a Greenlander? Can you please do a DNA test on them and tell me what their ethnicities are? And why is it overwhelmingly Danish with a small Inuit population? Come on. And this is just common sense, guys. Like I'm not pulling any data to fucking bring this up. This is just off rip. Off rip, dude. Smoking a free Willy, and I'm a free Ethan. Cheers. But dude, what's up with that Greenland is for Greenlander stuff, right? And everybody's trying to act like we're the bad guys. I'm sorry. What we want to do is the same thing that Denmark is doing. We want to annex the land. It's very ignorant to have that much of a hissy fit about it. It's a manufactured crisis through and through. It is a manufactured crisis bordering on a psyop. Do I think that we should actually acquire Greenland? No, not really. No, not really. Not at all. But if that's what our government wants to do, okay. Why are we pretending that it's not what it's currently being done or what's currently being done by Denmark? Greenland is not its own country. It is an autonomous region. People don't even know what that means, and they're trying to get into this debate about what we should and should not do regarding the place. It's a very weird conversation. Now, I do think strategically it poses some great assets. Um, I'm not too much of a dipshit to admit that the world is getting warmer. Greenland's inevitably going to thaw. And when it thaws, it's going to open up a lot of trade route. Trade route that we probably don't want Russia and China getting. If we can let their economies be harder, it's probably a good thing. Hate to admit it, probably a good thing. Um, so yeah, there's economic reasons and military reasons because if they can shorten their gap to get to northern Canada, for example, or if they can shorten their gap to get to Alaska, China, not Russia, but if they can shorten their gap to do all of those things, that poses a direct threat to us. So yeah, we have a vested interest. Again, I don't necessarily support it, but I'm willing to play devil's advocate. I think a big problem that Americans have is their unwillingness to actually entertain another perspective or another person's belief, which is so fucking funny because a lot of people on my former Facebook would say that I'm the most opinionated person of all time. But I'm actually one of the only people that will sit down and listen to you hash out your opinion for 30 fucking minutes before providing mine. And I will let you hold your opinion fully. I just also typically want to provide mine at the end of it and see where we could find middle ground. I think that's a fair way to live. People think their own beliefs and then they can't encompass or they can't understand what encompasses another person's beliefs. I'm very thankful that that's not necessarily me. Um, am I ignorant? Yeah. Am I stubborn? Yeah. But I truly do not consider myself an opinionated person because I try to come at things from a factual and logical place first, and then I try to apply emotion. And don't take this too literal, but emotion errs on the side of opinion, and logic errs on the side of facts more often than not. If you lean with emotion, or if you lead with emotion, often you're going to lead with opinion. If you lead with factual data, you're typically leading with a factual statement. So, yeah, that's really all I got to say about that. I just wish that we could understand everything that goes into the decisions. I think Trump is a pedophile, contrary to what a lot of people on the right think. I don't think he's the type of pedophile that is most concerning. And before you guys go off our rabbit hole, I think the most concerning pedophile, of course, is the ones that target actual prepubescent children because that's what pedophilia is. I think the type of pedophile or the type of pedophile that Donald Trump is he likes teenagers. And this is going to piss you guys off, but pretty much everybody that you individually like in Hollywood or in music likes teenagers. You guys know all those rock bands that we grew up listening to? You guys should listen to Kiss. Listen to those lyrics. Terrible. You guys should look at Red Hot Chili Peppers, Anthony Kiedis. Terrible. Their drummer's cool. Chad's a cool guy. I forget what his name is, but I think it's Chad. Just forget his last name. The drummer from Red Hot Chili Peppers, he's chill. I think is it Chad Hughes? I'll have to look it up. But he's cool. He's a cool dude. He's not a pedo. But the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, pedo. Most of Kiss, pedophiles and groomers. Um, Aerosmith. I mean, they had a scandal. I'm pretty sure a lot of these bands had scandals, dude. Diddy. Um, Diddy ran the big one of the biggest scandals worldwide, and that was hip hop and pop and music like that. So a lot of things going on, man. A lot of people that you look up to like kids. Does that make it okay? No, 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 no. But there's levels to this shit. If we have, if we can only hang one person a day, I want to hang the people that like toddlers first, and we'll work our way up to the people that like teenagers. Kind of know what I mean? Because we got there's levels to this shit. We got to take out the ones that are the biggest threat to society. For lack of better phrasing, at least the teenagers have cognizance and they can run. A toddler can't do that. You guys know where I'm going with that. I don't want to get graphic here. But yeah, Trump's a pedo. Um, Everybody around him, they're either pedos or they are complicit with pedos. they defend pedos. Everybody in Congress, pedos, or they're defending pedos. Everybody in your local and state government, pedophiles, or they're defending pedophiles. I mean, literally everybody, dude. They're all in it. Everybody in Hollywood, they're in it. The French government is in it. The Algerian government is in it. The Moroccan government is in it. Israeli government is in it. Palestine is involved in it. Trying to think of who else. I mean, dude, the United Kingdom, they're in it. Pretty much any government, they all have pedophilia scandals, dude. I mean, take me to the bank on it. Dig deep on all of these people, all of these countries. Every last one of these countries has a pedophilia scandal within their government. Not even just like within their people, because of course sex offenders live everywhere, but their government. I mean, we are being ruled by pedophiles. It's terrible. And that's the problem. They want us bitching about fucking Greenland, bro. Don't worry about Greenland, bro. There is more people in Seattle than there are in Greenland. I'm pretty sure about that. We'll expand it further. There's more people in the Seattle metropolitan area than Greenland. And Greenland's fucking massive. You guys haven't been letting me drink enough water. That's just absolutely rude. Absolutely rude, dude. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the thesis of what I wanted to talk about today. We're being ruled by an elite overlord class of people that like to harm kids, and they're going to shoot you in broad daylight for protesting about it. Take with that what you will. Do you want to live in that type of society? Or do you want to make change from within that society to hopefully fix it? I don't know, dude. I know I don't want to live in this society, but it's hard, right? Because it's like I got a mortgage, I got a wife, I've got a daughter. I don't want to risk it all. It's so hard. It's so scary. And that's just me being vulnerable. You know what I mean? This world is so vicious. And we need to do our part to love one another and keep one another away from the edge. We need to do our part to be moral and call out immoral behavior. I mean, dude, bring back shaming. I think I said this before on an old podcast episode, but bring back shaming. Someone stepping out on their spouse, talk about it. Be loud about it. If someone's acting bad, shame them. Be loud. Be vocal about it. Don't be quiet. That quiet shit is why we're here. Why says I always get in trouble with my mouth? I don't care. I'd rather get in trouble with my mouth than be complicit in somebody else's trouble for not standing against it. And that, dude, just saying that out loud made my heart feel good. Truly, honestly, truly. I would rather get in my own trouble with my fucking mouth than be complicit in somebody else's bad behavior by not standing up against it. That's just me, dude. Even my boss and I were talking about it today. You know, Tom, my boss, he's Church of Latter Day Saints. It's basically Mormon. It's Mormons, but he was talking to me about one of the commandments, and I said that my favorite commandment is don't bear false witness, dude. I will not bear false witness. I'm not a liar. My mama didn't raise a liar. Obviously, when I was a child, every kid told lies when they were kids. But as an adult, dude, I'm rigid. I try my absolute best to tell the truth. Does that dress make you look fat? Holy fuck, you better hope you didn't eat a lot today. Because I might tell you. Okay. Um, I don't think I'd actually ever do that. But I do joke that I feel like I'm incapable of I feel like I'm incapable of telling a lie sometimes. I almost talk too much. And I think that's pretty obvious because that's why I have a podcast and I can ramble for over an hour about completely random shit. But yeah, dude, favorite commandment: don't be a liar, man. Don't be a liar because that comes back on you. And don't be a liar is expanded further than that. In my opinion, like on my earlier point, if you see something that's immoral and you're not standing up against that, that is like a form of lying to me because you know it's not right, and yet you didn't say anything. It's like omission, right? When you omit something, it's when you didn't lie, but it's a form of lying because you didn't tell the whole truth. You omitted something. You ignored one of the facts. You kept it out, right? That's that. But anyway, that's this. I won't lie. I gotta pee really bad. It's crazy. I didn't even drink that much water. I might come out here in a little bit and we'll wrap this up. Give me a sec. Okay. Yeah, I'm out here now. Put my jacket back on for a little bit. Oh, man. So I mean that's the gist of it, right? I mean we don't want to be liars. We don't want to be getting involved in stupid shit. We don't want to be getting shot for being American and exercising American rights. I don't know what to say, dude. Fuck ICE. I know I can say that. Fuck Donald Trump. I know I can say that. Fuck JD Vance. Fuck Erica Kirk. She could catch a stray bullet tonight. Metaphorically, that didn't come out right. Yikes. You guys knew that was a metaphor, but that didn't sound right. Um, jeez, that didn't sound right at all. Fuck. You know the saying, out here catching strays. You know, out here catching stray bullets. She could catch a stray. She can get some hate. That's what my point was. She can get some hate because she's a dumb bitch. Anybody that thinks that she didn't know her husband was gonna die and have a say in it, dude. Candace Owens actually just leaked evidence yesterday, dude. Yesterday, you can go find it right now. She leaked a Zoom call of Erica Kirk 5 days after Charlie died, and she's like literally giddy. She's talking about how excited she is and how they're gonna throw an event of the century for Charlie's memorial. Like, dude, it's actually fucking. It's. It makes, yeah. It's like when you burp a little bit and you have just a little bit of acid reflux at the back end. That's what Erica Kirk is like right now. Go watch the video for yourself, dude. It's so sinister. She's literally like giggling and talking about how excited she is. I cannot exaggerate. She's talking about how excited she is for Turning Point's future and how they're going to raise so much money and how they're going to have an event of the century for Charlie Kirk's memorial, which of course has already happened now. This is all in the past. But the evidence just came out and holy crap, dude. It's like, yeah, everybody is bad. Everybody's bad. I don't really have any nicer way to phrase it or cooler way to phrase it. Everybody's bad. We're being ruled by completely bad people. It scares me. So what do you do? What do you do when you got the wife and the kid and the mortgage and the median income and the day job? Like, dude, I'm barely making it financially. You know what I mean? I spent $500 on home repairs in the past 2 months. Excuse me. Yeah, I spent $500 on home repairs, dude. Like, come on. I don't know if that's the exact tab, but it's up there. It's up there. It's like 400 or 500 bucks. Stupid. Barely making it. Doing the best I can. I don't want to risk it all to go challenge somebody. This government sucks. But I'm not trying to be pessimistic because I do have a lot of great things. I do have the nice day job. It's 5 minutes from home, and I do have the home, and I do have the wife and the kid. It's all great things. But it's it's like, do you want to live in a country like this? I don't know, dude. A wild, wild way to be. This world is weird. This world's weird. Man, I'm starting to drink a little bit of water. We've had about, hold on, that's milliliters, you dumbass. We've had about a cup and a half to 2 cups of water since I've been out here. I don't know how high I put it. I forgot, but we'll say 2 cups. Call it two. Got to go after drinking water. Have to. I don't make the rules. I just make sure that I follow them. My wife, man, this is some cool news I want to share with you guys. My wife is getting baptized, bro. Dude, that alone makes me very emotional. Got a very good woman, dude. I mean, she's completely changed her entire belief system to match mine. And not, she didn't do that for that reason. You know what I mean? She did it for her own reasons. But this woman's completely changed her whole belief system in under under 3 months. I haven't been to church in 3 weeks. It sucks. Um, I've been. It was just bad luck. I had a freaking real bad headache 3 weeks ago, like migraine level. Like I don't think I was driving, kind of thing. I think that's what it was. It's been a month now. I got really bad short term memory, but that was what was going on. Millie Joe, poor baby girl, she had diaper rash really bad this last week and really bad clinginess. So she wasn't gonna let us take her to the nursery, and she probably wasn't gonna behave in the church too because her butt hurts. You know, her butt's been flaring up. She got diaper rash. Kids get that. And this week we're going to the Mariners Fan Fest, which is super sweet. I'm really excited. Um, so yeah, I won't have been to church for 3 weeks. It's gonna be a little bit, but good news is my wife's been going almost every week. This will be like the only time she's gonna have missed, and it's because we're going to the baseball. You can miss church once in a while to go to baseball. Come on. But she's getting baptized, and I'm very, 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 very proud of her. I'm very, very, very thankful for her. It's going to be a good thing. I think that it's going to open a new chapter in her life, and she's just gonna have to see what that looks like. But it's going to be really cool. I'm not baptized. Um, at least I don't think, unless my mom did it when I was a baby. But I'm not baptized. Yeah, but I'm glad that she's getting. And I've been contemplating it. I just don't know if it's right for me. And that's me being vulnerable with you guys. I read the Bible and I believe in Jesus fully. I consider myself kind of like a messianic Jew, which basically means I'm a Jewish man, believe in Jesus. We talked about this on the podcast before, but I don't know if baptism is for me. I know. I don't know. It might sound silly to you guys, but I don't really know if I want to get my hair that wet. I'm like a cat. I only get my hair wet when I'm washing it. So that's not the real reason. It's just something funny I'm thinking about. But I'm very happy that she's doing it. I think this is going to be so good for her. And it's good for everybody that wants to do that. If you're thinking about making a religious or spiritual change in your life, dude, here's my honest sign for everybody. First of all, me even telling you this, if you're hearing this, that's already a sign if you've been thinking about some stuff on your heart. But let me tell you one bigger. If you've been thinking about some spirituality, if you've been thinking about, hmm, maybe I should tune into this, or maybe I should tune into that, that is this or that already telling you to tune in, right? Like if you're saying, oh, maybe God or maybe Jesus is calling out to me and I just need to go to church. Yes, that's exactly why you're thinking about it. That's precisely why you're thinking about it. Or if you're Buddhist, and I'm going to butcher this because I'm not Buddhist, but if you're Buddhist and you're thinking, maybe I need to find my inner peace and maybe I need to start reading more earthly books about reincarnation and maybe I need to get more divine and more Buddha like. Do it. That's Buddha channeling through you. I fully believe that. I've always have. Whenever you're feeling spiritual, there's an intention for it behind that. That's the universe getting behind you and affirming what you want to feel and getting that relationship that you need. So that's a sign already from me right there. And as you just heard me literally give you multiple examples, you don't got to be my guy. Whatever's in your heart that you want to feel and believe and tune into, please do it. It's really good for you. I think a lot of people need to hold on to something right now because we're in a really bad way globally where just so much immoral stuff's happening. Like the global pedophilia and the endless wars and the bad financial stuff and the crises that never end. It's a spiritual war out there, dude. You want to make sure you're on the right side of that. That's a bad battle to be on the wrong side of. Trust. Dude, this thing's still cracking. At least it smoked good. That's the good part. It took a little bit to get her activated, but she smoked okay. It's a free will, man. Free will. We want to be free. I don't want to be doing some stupid shit. I don't want to live in a country that's doing stupid shit. I want to be a part of a good community that takes care of its children and doesn't have frivolous taxes and isn't getting in wars. That's what I want. And ironically, that's actually a very conservative belief system, but most people don't realize that. Conservatives nowadays are sadly not what I would want them to be. Well, I think I'm going to tap this out because it's starting to taste like a little bit of booty. I don't like tasting the booty. Um, yeah, I don't know if I have any closing thoughts. Closing monologue. I don't know. Home repair is hard. It's good on the mind. It calluses the mind and it calluses the palms, but it's very hard work. I have to leave the house again this weekend, and hopefully, I'm praying to God that my dog doesn't undo literally all of the work that I just did a second time because she just tore it down again this week, like I said at the start of this. Um, yeah, home repair is hard. Let's try not to let this ice situation happen anymore, because dude, I'm getting burnt out, dude. I've seen a lot of fatal shootings in the past year. I think we all have. I mean, Charlie Kirk, Renee Good, Alex Pretti. I saw there was that influencer down in like Colombia or somewhere in Latin America. She got shot and killed on her IG live. I didn't see it on the live because I don't know who the fuck she was, but I saw it after the fact. And man, there's just too much violence that we're all seeing. It's way too easily witnessed. That's not good for us. Excuse me. Went down the wrong tube. Yeah, this ICE situation, dude. I'm over. I'm burnt out. I think we need to let the midterms go towards the left. That's typically how these things go. Keeping it just super historical, politics like super aside, most times one party doesn't hold power for 4 years. For example, like right now, we're conservative. We have the conservative House, Senate, and presidency. Because of how shit the presidency is going to be or is, there's no way we're keeping a conservative House and Senate. And that typically happens. I think during Obama's presidency, during one of his terms, he had full control, but one of them he didn't. Same with Biden, he didn't have full control the whole time. Same with Trump, first term, he didn't have full control the full time. Biden might have actually, but you don't typically. It's very common during the midterms, things flip a little bit because people start to get out of the honeymoon phase and they're just like, whoa, this president sucks. It happens every time. Everybody likes their president for the first month or two, and then they realize shit isn't changing and they fucking get mad at it. So, yeah, that's my take. I think at this point we should stop voting. I'll be honest, stop voting, take your kids out of school. Um, I mean, just absolutely protest the system. Excuse me. Absolutely protest the system. Take your kids out of school. Homeschool them. Um, I would even go further if you could stop paying taxes, but that'll get us all in trouble with the IRS. I mean, if we all did it, if we literally all did it, the IRS couldn't keep up. But that's the problem with protest. And nobody, you can't get everybody to actually join in. So in the meantime, take your kids out of school. Try to rely on the government the least amount possible that you can. And stop voting, dude, because nah, I'm good. I don't think I'm gonna vote again after that. After what we've seen, this past year has been just too much. Cheers on that, boys. And I don't mean too much like for me, by the way. I'm fine. I don't mean like that. I just mean politically, right? We've seen so much stupid shit this last year. I think it's safe to say I'm good. Nothing we do is going to change anything in the voters' booth. So we need to get out of the vote. Stop voting. Start protesting. Hear, hear. You guys have yourself a good one. Yeah. Thing's cracking again. Goodness. All right. Good night. You guys have a good one. And a one, and a two, and a. I can't say it, but you know what it means. All right. Let's see if that works. You know how it is. All right. Hopefully that's better. We're trying to figure this thing out, boys. Girls. Thems. Huh. All right. I'm furry, dude. I'm furry.